In this video, I'm going to break down as a natural some of the best supplements you can take that are worth your money and not waste your money, okay? Now, over the years, since I started my fitness journey in 2009, I spent thousands and thousands on supplements, and I'm going to let you know which ones I think are the best to be taken, okay? Now, my name is Paul Phoenix. I'm a certified personal trainer from Manchester in the UK, and I'm also the creator of the Phoenix Transformation, which is an 8-week coaching online transformation program. Okay, now, number one that I still take today, that everyone should be taking, in my opinion, is creatine. Okay, now creatine basically helps you just lift more weight, makes you get those extra few reps out, which is perfect for building muscle, and it also has an aesthetic look in terms of it allows you to draw water into your muscle tissue, basically inflating it like a balloon and making you appear actually bigger or more muscular than you are. This even works for people who don't even lift weights. Okay, even if you don't lift weights and you take creatine, your muscles are actually going to fill out of water. It's going to give you a bit of a bigger look. Creatine also has been shown to have positive effects on your brain and how you think and cognitive abilities, and it's also supposed to, if you do sprinting, you can recover a lot quicker from your sprints. So all of this stuff, but I take creatine today still. For what it does, it's worth the money. Okay. Another one that I take today is quite obvious. Whey protein. Okay, it's just a powdered form protein, and it's got the amino acids and all that stuff, and I just have it in the form of a protein shake. Tastes really good, and then I'll have my lean meats and beef and chicken later. It just breaks it up from having just endless meat, and it's a good way to bump your protein up. Okay, so kind of any whey protein is okay. It's a good way just to get your protein high. It tastes good. Some people wouldn't actually think of that necessarily as a supplement, but yeah, whey protein. Okay, so at the moment, I think those are the only two really that I take at the moment. Okay, but what I have taken in the past, I'm going to break down right now. Now, before I go into this, if you take any form of pre-workout, what you're going to find is that these pre-workouts are just absolutely full of absolute crap, okay? All loads of crazy ingredients, and I found that I would take them, basically they're just loaded with caffeine, okay? And I found that I would take them, it gets you on this crazy high because of the caffeine and some of the chemicals, and maybe you do a good workout, but I found that later on in the day, man, I would have a big crash. I'd feel all jittery and really cranky and snappy. And because the dosage of caffeine is so intense, I found that you might get a good workout, but you kind of suffer for the rest of the day, I find. So yeah, pre-workouts, I would ideally buy all of the ingredients separate, okay? And then micro dose them or dose them into your own pre-workout. I found that has always been the best thing to do, and you've got full control over your dosage. Okay, so going back to creatine, creatine is 3 grams a day once you've loaded up, or 5 grams a day. There's a loading phase where they tell you to take 25 grams. Is it 20 grams per day for 7 days? It's supposed to load you up quicker, but it's probably going to give a lot of people some stomach ache. So if you just go with the 5 grams a day with the creatine, it's going to build up over time, over 30 days, and your muscles will saturate. So creatine isn't a one-time thing, okay? You might see it in the bar sometimes. Take like a protein bar with creatine in. Creatine is something which needs to be dosed over time and built up in your body over time. It's not like a one-time thing. Okay, so moving on. So yeah, so Pre-workouts used to make me feel like crap. I don't take anything like that anymore. When I did do my pre-workouts, I used to create my own, in a nutshell. So moving on, I found that I used to take something called Beta-alanine. You're going to find that is in a lot of the supplements these days, and it gives you that tingling sensation, paresthesia or something. And in a nutshell, what Beta-alanine does is it does the opposite of what creatine did. So what creatine does is it allows you to lift more heavier weight. So it focuses on the lower end of the spectrum of resistance training. So it allows you to lift more. What Beta-alanine does is it allows you to do more repetitions. So it buffers the lactic acid system. So when you're doing 15, 20 reps and you get that burning, Beta-alanine buffers the lactic acid. So this is also one which needs to be taken over time to build up in the body. You can't get away with just taking one time for a pre-workout. It's not really going to do much. Your muscles need to saturate over time, over like 30, 60 days, and you take it in roughly, the dose is going to be different for people, but you take a 1 gram a few times a day, and you do that multiple times, 30 days, and it saturates the muscle just like creatine. So that is one that I used to take. I don't take anymore, but when I did used to take it, I did notice a difference. So that is a good one to take. Okay. Another one in the staples would be, I used to take omega-3 oils. Okay. This is something now which I get from a diet, so I don't take it. However, this is something which also builds up over time, and you need to make sure you're getting the right dosage of the EPA, is it DHA, DPA, all that, the EHA, DPA, the fats that are in it. And basically, this is also something which builds over time in your body. It's not a one-time thing, and it will over time gradually integrate into your cells. Okay, so what you're going to find is a lot of these things that you take, they're more like long-term things, not one hits. Okay, so omega-3 was a good one. I used to take multivit. Don't do that anymore. I just try and focus on my diet really and getting a good mix on the diet. Okay. But yeah, in terms of the supplements, okay, you can mix and add all of this stuff. I used to take caffeine powder tablets, and this allowed me to micro dose my caffeine. I had a very love-hate relationship with this because I would always find my caffeine would go sky high over time. It'd end up going to like nearly like 800 milligrams, 600 in a day, and I'd start to feel like I wouldn't feel good in my own body because I was just taking so much powdered caffeine, and then I'd have to drastically drop it back, and I'd have all these withdrawal and then start again. Whereas now, I just have a small coffee in the morning, and I have a small coffee in the afternoon, and it's a totally different natural feel. But yeah, if you're creating your own pre-workout, powdered caffeine or tablets is the way to go, because you can control your caffeine. If you like to have a coffee in the morning, that's totally fine. Another thing that I used to take was BCAAs, because I used to train fasted in the morning. I took it in the form of a product called Extend, which had like a flavour to it, so I would use that as the base for your form of powders, just to give it a bit of flavour. But in a nutshell, it had sodium, potassium for your electrolytes, and then I had the BCAAs, and I used that as the base of my pre-workout, and I controlled the doses of everything. Okay, so in a nutshell, those are just some of the simple supplements which you're going to find there isn't really. Those are the core ones which are going to get you results that have been tested through science. Okay, anything else maybe is that I can think of right now off the top of my head. There isn't really much, but those are the core ones which are going to get you the majority of your results. Anything else might not be as tried and tested, and this is for a natural, obviously. We all know that the people who take the juice is basically, that's just totally basically increasing testosterone, which you can do naturally, but obviously not on the level of it being illegal. Okay, but yeah, in a nutshell, if you want to transform your body, you don't actually have to use supplements. I've dialed it right back over the years. I used to spend so much money on supplements that I decided I'm going to cut back, and sometimes it isn't always necessary. You can get in great shape without even taking any supplements. Okay. Now, if you're interested in getting in fantastic shape in just 8 weeks, check paulphoenix.com below. I can work with you over 8 weeks coaching and basically get you in the best shape of your life in just 8 weeks. Drop body fat, build muscle, get shredded, all totally natural using the Phoenix method, my personal transformation. Now, if you want that, below. Now, what supplements do you take? Comment, like the video and subscribe. Until next time, take it easy.